Most people think living to 100 is about superfoods you can't pronounce, expensive supplements, or some secret diet locked away in a lab. But what if I told you that many of the world's longest living people are eating foods so simple, so ordinary, that you've probably walked past them in your kitchen 1,000 times without realizing their power? In fact, some of the foods that quietly support a long, healthy life are often dismissed, avoided, or replaced with processed alternatives that slowly drain the body instead of nourishing it. And here's the shocking part. It's not about eating less, starving yourself, or chasing the latest health trend. It's about eating the right simple foods every single day in a way that supports your digestion, your cells, and your immune system from the inside out. Today, I want to walk you through exactly what those foods are, why they work, how they support longevity, and just as importantly, what common mistakes quietly shorten life, even in people who think they're eating healthy. If you've ever wondered why some people stay sharp, mobile, and energetic well into their 90s while others struggled decades earlier, this conversation will connect the dots in a way most health advice never does. When we look at long-living populations around the world, one pattern shows up again and again. These people don't eat constantly. They don't snack all day. They don't overload their bodies with heavy processed foods that the digestive system struggles to break down. Instead, they eat simply, regularly, and in harmony with how the human body was designed to function. Digestion is not just about absorbing calories. It's about extracting minerals, enzymes, and life-giving compounds that keep cells repairing themselves properly. One of the most overlooked truths about longevity is that aging accelerates when digestion weakens. Undigested food creates inflammation, feeds harmful bacteria, and burdens the liver and immune system. So the foods that support long life are not just nutritious on paper, they are foods the body can actually break down, absorb, and use efficiently day after day. Let's start with something surprisingly basic. Whole, natural plant foods in their simplest form. Vegetables, especially those that grow close to the ground or below it, are rich in minerals that directly support nerve function, muscle strength, and bone density as we age. Leafy greens, for example, provide magnesium, potassium, and folate, which help regulate blood pressure, support the heart, and keep the brain supplied with oxygen. But the key is not drowning these foods in sauces or frying them until they're unrecognizable. Long-living cultures tend to lightly cook vegetables or eat them fresh, making them easier to digest while preserving their life force. They don't fear vegetables. They rely on them as daily nourishment, not as a side dish eaten once in a while. Another daily staple among people who live to 100 is simple, whole grains prepared properly. This is where modern nutrition often goes wrong. Refined grains strip away the fiber and minerals that protect the gut and stabilize blood sugar. But traditionally prepared grains, soaked or cooked slowly, provide steady energy without overloading the pancreas. They feed beneficial gut bacteria, which play a massive role in immune health and inflammation control. A healthy gut is not just about digestion, it's about mood, immunity, and even how quickly the body repairs damaged tissue. When the gut is supported daily, the entire body ages more slowly. Legumes also appear consistently in long-living diets, but again, preparation matters. Beans and lentils are rich in plant protein, fiber, and minerals that support muscle maintenance without the inflammatory burden that often comes from excessive meat consumption. When soaked and cooked properly, legumes become one of the most gentle and nourishing protein sources available. They stabilize blood sugar, support heart health, and help maintain lean muscle mass as we age. People who live long lives don't necessarily eat large amounts of protein at every meal. They eat moderate, balanced portions that the body can actually use. Now let's talk about healthy fats, because this is one area filled with confusion. Longevity is not about avoiding fat. It's about choosing fats that support cellular health instead of damaging it. Natural fats from foods like olives, nuts, seeds, and certain traditional oils help maintain flexible cell membranes, which is critical for brain function and hormone balance. These fats reduce chronic inflammation, one of the biggest drivers of aging. What long-living populations avoid are industrially processed oils that oxidize easily and damage blood vessels over time. When fats are stable and natural, they become allies in longevity rather than enemies. One of the most underestimated longevity foods is fermented food. Cultures that include small amounts of fermented vegetables, natural yogurts, or other traditionally fermented items tend to have stronger digestion and immunity well into old age. Fermentation introduces beneficial bacteria that help the gut process nutrients more efficiently. This reduces toxic buildup in the body and improves absorption of vitamins like B12 and K2, which are critical for brain and bone health. You don't need large amounts. Small, regular portions are enough to gently support the microbiome over decades. Fruit also plays a role, but not in the excessive, sugar-loaded way many people consume it today. Long-living individuals eat fruit in season, often as a simple dessert or morning food, not blended into massive sweet drinks. Whole fruits provide antioxidants that protect cells from oxidative damage, one of the main mechanisms of aging. The fiber in whole fruits slows sugar absorption, protecting the pancreas and reducing insulin spikes. This is very different from fruit juices or sweetened products that overwhelm the system. Equally important is what long-living people consistently avoid. They don't rely on packaged convenience foods. They don't overload their bodies with refined sugar, which accelerates aging by damaging blood vessels and feeding inflammation. They don't eat heavy meals late at night that burden digestion when the body should be repairing itself. They respect the body's natural rhythms, eating earlier in the day, allowing time between meals, and not constantly snacking gives the digestive system time to rest and regenerate. This simple habit alone has a profound effect on longevity. Hydration also plays a quiet but critical role. Drinking clean water throughout the day supports circulation, kidney function, and detoxification. Dehydration thickens the blood, strains the heart, and slows cellular repair. Many long-living people drink water regularly, but not excessively, often between meals rather than flooding the stomach during digestion. This supports efficient nutrient absorption and reduces digestive stress. Another overlooked factor is simplicity. Longevity diets are not complicated. Meals are built from a few whole ingredients eaten consistently. This reduces digestive confusion and supports metabolic efficiency. Constantly changing diets, combining too many foods at once, or following extreme eating patterns can stress the body over time. The human body thrives on gentle consistency. There is also a powerful mental component to eating for longevity. Long-living people tend to eat calmly, without rushing, and often in community. Stress during meals impairs digestion by diverting blood flow away from the stomach. Eating slowly, chewing well, and enjoying food supports enzyme release and nutrient absorption. This is not just tradition, it's physiology. As we age, the body's ability to absorb nutrients declines, which is why the quality of food becomes more important than quantity. Eating nutrient-dense, easily digestible foods every day supports muscle maintenance, cognitive clarity, and immune resilience. This is why simply eating more doesn't improve health, but eating smarter does. One of the biggest myths about longevity is that it requires deprivation. In reality, it requires nourishment. The body ages faster when it lacks minerals, healthy fats, and digestible proteins. Starving the body or following extreme restrictions often leads to weakness, hormonal imbalance, and accelerated decline. Long life is supported by gentle nourishment over decades, not harsh interventions. Movement, sunlight, and purpose all amplify the effects of a longevity-supporting diet, but food remains the daily foundation. You can exercise all you want, but if your cells are undernourished, repair cannot keep up with damage. Food provides the raw materials for renewal. So when you hear the phrase, just eat these every day and you'll live to 100, understand that it's not about a magic list or a miracle cure. It's about returning to simple, whole foods that support digestion, reduce inflammation, and nourish the body at a cellular level. It's about consistency, moderation, and respect for how the human body actually works. In just a moment, I want you to think about your own daily meals. Not what you eat occasionally, but what you eat most days. Are those foods building you up or slowly wearing you down? Longevity is not decided in a single meal. It's shaped by thousands of small choices repeated over time. To bring everything together, the people who live long, vibrant lives don't chase fads. They eat simple whole foods, support their digestion, avoid excess sugar and processed products, and nourish their bodies consistently with what nature provides. If you found this information valuable, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and let me know in the comments what topic you'd like me to cover next, because the choices you make today quietly shape how strong, clear, and independent you'll be decades from now.